What is going on, everybody? We are back with another wrestling review. This is CCW, and I'm Nick.
And I'm Joe.
And today we are talking about AEW's Dynamite for November 5th. A show that is a show that's definitely better than Raw this week.
But not a high hill to climb, but sure.
But it was not near the exciting episode it was last week.
Agreed.
Really, dude? You waited 5 seconds.
Damn it, Gil.
Fuck off, Gil. Jesus.
He's like, are we on? Are we on? Is it my cue?
He's like, time to howl. So yeah, we're in Houston. We got Excalibur, Bryan Danielson, and Tony Schiavone on commentary.
Yeah, they should have just kept it a two-man booth.
I agree. Although, to be fair, I didn't notice Tony most of the night.
Well, that's because he adds nothing to anything.
We get an in-ring segment that is Schiavone out there to talk about the new national title that they're bringing in, which we'll talk a little bit more in detail the next time it gets brought up. The Ops come out almost immediately to confront Tony. Tony goes to explain himself, and Joe tells him to shut up. There are consequences for his actions. Security rushes the ring. They get in the ring because they're just going to beat security's ass too. And then Adam Page rushes the rings, and the Ops decide to take out two problems at once. So they're going to jump security, Schiavone, and Adam Page. However, Eddie and Hook rush the ring. Page then says he'll beat Joe's ass, at which point he gives the mic to Hook. And Hook is like, yo, how about y'all put those trios titles on the line? And Joe is very angry for some reason. And says yes.
Over dramatic like crazy.
I don't know where his anger came from this. Other than unless
I don't either.
Unless he read Hook is saying something like they were a bunch of bitches, but I didn't get that from Hook. So I was very confused.
I'm going to be honest. I was confused during this segment as well because I already thought it was for the trios titles.
So I knew it wasn't. I knew it was just a trios match. However, I like that they eventually made it for the trios titles.
Yeah, I just assumed it was the entire time, so I was confused. I was like, this was a pre-advertised match. I was like, I'm so confused. I thought the titles were already on the line.
Right. But yeah, so Joe was very angry, said yes, and that was that. My other problem is, and don't get me wrong, Kingston's wrestling tonight is the best it's been since he's been back. Thank God.
It was brief though. It wasn't like a match he had to do himself.
So then that's my next thing, right? We all know that the thing that Kingston does best is talk. So don't get me wrong.
He was the only one of the group that didn't talk today too.
Don't get me wrong. Hook didn't do a bad job. It wasn't like something he cut and I was like, oh, I got to hear Hook again. Like, he was fine. But like, I would have rather heard Kingston because that's what Kingston does best is run his fucking mouth.
Agreed.
I felt like that's what they put him and Hook together for. Like, Hook is a really good judo style in-ring wrestler. But he's not really good at all on the mic for the most part.
Not at all.
I would even have him under like Jack Perry.
I would agree with that.
But like at the same time, that's what he does. That's Kingston. He's the shit talker, and he ain't said shit. So
not at all.
And we'll talk more about them later. Them being mostly Hook. Then we get our first match, and for those that don't know, they've got, for both the men and for the women, a best of 3 matches, which are just excuses to throw people up against each other. But whoever wins the best of 3 get an advantage in Blood and Guts next week, and they are spread between Dynamite tonight and Collision this Saturday. We get our first on the men's side, which is Orange Cassidy versus Claudio Castagnoli. Out the gate, Orange Cassidy attacks very quickly by diving out on Claudio a couple times. Bell hadn't even rung yet, and then Claudio rung his bell pretty quickly after. But overall, after that, it was a pretty well wrestled match. There was a really cool moment where Cassidy, did he have? I think it was like a headlock on Claudio, and then Claudio somehow pulled him over and reversed it into like a big swing.
Yep, he was kind of like dangling off of him.
I was like, that was pretty cool. I love anytime Claudio gets to showcase his monstrous strength. But yeah, Claudio's up. So Orange Cassidy hits an orange punch, goes for a second one. Claudio hits a pop-up uppercut and gets the pin.
Yeah, this was 80-20 Claudio.
Yeah, as it should be, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, the other Death Rider match was also kind of 80-20, so it was a weird night. But very good wrestled match. The hope spots that OC did have were well executed. He kept going for his hands in the pocket things early.
My
very
favorite,
well done, just
my
very noticeably one-sided.
My favorite hands in the pocket moment is when he's laying face down.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's swimming for a second, and then he finally gets his hands in his pocket. It's amazing. We get the first backstage segment that Joe's gonna hate. I actually enjoyed it.
They were all awful today.
Mark Briscoe says some wild shit and then offers basically a no DQ match for the TNT title against Fletcher. Kyle actually,
it was him, Fletcher, and Don Callis backstage with Renee.
Kyle actually likes the idea, but Callis is like, "Hey, I need something out of this though." And basically, it comes down to, he says if Briscoe loses, he's going to have to join the Don Callis family and leave the conglomeration. Mark Briscoe agrees, and I actually didn't feel like this was a bad segment. Because we didn't get super crazy Mark Briscoe, who just said a bunch of shit that you couldn't understand.
His body language was crazy.
Well, it's always going to be. It's Mark Briscoe.
I can't tell the difference between not crazy Mark Briscoe and crazy Mark Briscoe.
I can. It's the elevation of his voice. Now, does he get loud towards the end? Yes. Because he's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to win that title. Now, here's what I do also really like about this. I like the idea of Mark Briscoe being stuck in a John Cena Nexus situation. And hopefully they would keep him there for a while. Like, I don't...
He's winning the belt, dude. They didn't go through and film all those conglomeration things for him to not be there.
I don't know. I'm just saying I like the idea of it happening. Right? Because, like I said, we've seen this story before. Except, again, it was John Cena. It was Nexus. It was like 15 years ago. And it didn't last long. Like, John Cena joined the Nexus and then was out of it in like a week and a half. So, I don't know. I like the idea of it.
We'll see what they're doing, because they're kind of booking themselves in a corner.
But I could also see Mark Briscoe winning. I thought Mark Briscoe was going to win, though, to begin with, even before these stipulations, once he got this match. Because I feel like they've been having him lose a lot to set up that it's a dire moment. I have to win this.
What do you do with Kyle Fletcher after this, though?
You push him into the national title picture. I don't know.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I actually don't know. That was me joking, by the way.
Yeah, you knew it would get to me.
But I do know that, like, he's gonna... I mean, he'll get put somewhere. He'll get put into some sort of story. Like, Kyle's not going anywhere. We know that.
Yeah, I know.
But this also goes back to he doesn't need a title on him. Nobody technically needs a title on him, even though everyone's getting one.
Well, Tony keeps fucking ordering them to get made.
So, I mean, there's other programs he could get put in. And it'll be interesting to see what Tony does with him. We get another backstage segment where Callis is whining and dining the Bucks, trying to get them to join the Don Callis family. They seem so unsure. And then the rest of the family shows up to try and convince them. And finally, Okada is the last one to show up. And the Bucks are like, hey, this is a little too much. We need a little bit of time to think about it. Don Callis is like, oh, take some time, think about it, everything that you need. He's like, we're in no rush here. And he's like, all right, let's go, guys. And he leaves, and everybody leaves except for Okada. And Okada's just sitting there with that big, goofy fucking smile. And he looks over at the Bucks, and he says, don't take too much time. And then he leaves.
Yep, they're totally gonna betray the Bucks and beat them up.
Oh, they're not gonna join any fucking ways. I'm relatively sure they're setting up the Elite again.
They are, but I think it's gonna be the Elite and Jurassic Express against the Don Callis family.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jurassic Express don't become official Elite members. If I'm being honest, I mean, technically, one of them already was for a while. So, they're all buddies. Listen. Someone has got to replace Kenny. That man's getting old.
He's no older than I am.
Exactly. We're old, buddy.
I'm a spring chicken.
No. You're a sprained ankled chicken. Big difference.
Yeah, that's
big difference.
Not wrong. Half my life I've had a sprained ankle, it feels like.
We get so match 2 is my match of the fucking night. Women's tag team tournament match. Mercedes Moné and Athena versus Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron. First and foremost, shout out to Mercedes for wearing her NWO inspired outfit. It's my favorite one that she has.
Yep.
We get a pretty couple of really cool spots. One of them is Willow pouncing Athena into Monet, who has her submission on Harley.
To break it up.
To break up the tag, to break up the thing. I was like, that's fun. Athena hits this crazy fall away slam on Harley and a Samoan drop on Willow at the same time.
Yeah, she had Willow on her back and Harley on her front, and Samoan drop and fall away slammed them. And she threw Harley over Willow.
Yes, she did.
I'm like, damn, I did not know Athena was this strong.
Oh, she's a beast.
Good for her.
She's a beast. End of the match, Billy Starks gets involved. She comes out to be the minion that she is. And then Statlander comes out to stop that shit. Faces end up hitting their finishers on Athena, and Harley Cameron gets the pin on Athena. Match of the night, I think it was an outstanding match as a whole. I don't think the right team won, though. That's where my problem is.
I did not expect the baby faces to win. Then I heard who they were fighting next, and I was like, oh, now it makes sense. Because they're fighting the triangle people next.
Right. But I don't know. I would have rather the end be, like I said, my dream finale for the tag titles would have been Athena and Monet versus Tony and Mina. I agree. It would have been a banger match, but I also know they probably didn't want to go that route because that's like 3 of the best women in AEW all being stuck in the same program.
Well, they're all kind of stuck in the same program anyways because Blood and Guts. But Blood and Guts, I think, is why they aren't advancing.
I could see that. But does that mean Tony and them are going to lose?
Maybe.
I fucking hope not.
I think they're going to elevate someone new. And I think it's going to be Bane and Shafir.
Listen, if they're going to... I would rather it be Willow and Harley. I'm being honest.
I think that's who they'll face in the finals. But I think the heels will go over.
But no, I loved this match. And dude, it goes to prove. Athena might be the best wrestler for the women that AEW has.
I don't know. I don't see her on TV enough. She's stuck in ROH.
No, but every time she wrestles, it's you. Oh, dude, she's great. She's fucking great.
I I don't know. I only see her maybe once a month when she's up from Ring of Honor. She needs to be off Ring of Honor.
Right. I get what you're trying to say.
Or damn title and come up to the big show.
We get an in-ring segment. Finally, Shivani has announced that the national championship is going to be inaugurated.
Crowned.
At the pay-per-view, Full Gear in a casino gauntlet, because we always need a reason to have like 12 of these a year.
Yeah, who's coming back to win it?
And the winner wins the national championship.
And why is it going to be Adam Cole?
And I don't think it will.
Let me dream, damn it.
So we only know of 3 people for sure that are in it so far. We know it's Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin and Ricochet.
Yeah, because we had to sit through Goa and Hurt Syndicate barking back and forth at each other with Tony Schiavone in the ring.
So MVP comes out, hypes up the lineage of the title, or the lineage of the original title, which was what was it, NWA? I think it was an NWA title, or AWA, yeah. One of the two. But it was held by people like Dusty Rhodes and some other names that I can't remember off the top of my head. Old people. And he's excited for, the Hurt Syndicate to have a chance to bring that title to the club. At which point, Goa and Ricochet show up. Ricochet makes fun of them for being old, which made me laugh. Talk about, yeah, I'm happy for you guys because you're able to basically wobble to the ring and wrestle. It is a fun time. However, I will say one of the things that I absolutely loved about this is how loud the crowd was in booing Ricochet. Because you could barely hear that motherfucker.
Yeah, he's almost got go away heat.
I mean, not with me. He's not even close. I love Ricochet.
No, thankfully he eventually shuts up and wrestles, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, it's Ricochet."
He did promise that the Hurt Syndicate were never going to win a title while he's around, and he's kept that promise so far. MVP says the only thing that they have done well is get their asses beat by the Hurt Syndicate. At which point Ricochet...
Which is crazy because they've won 2 out of the 3 matches.
Right. Ricochet said that at the pay-per-view the demand will be met and Ricochet will walk out the inaugural national champion. So...
I honestly wouldn't be mad with a Ricochet win.
I actually think Ricochet is going to win. And there's a reason. So, first and foremost, I had told you that I had a theory on why I think this title was being brought in. First and foremost, Tony loves the history of wrestling. I guarantee you, the idea of bringing in something called the national title has been on his radar probably for like 3 years.
Which is fine.
However, what I think is actually happening is with that set up, with a couple of other things that have been set up, I think they are preparing themselves on the off chance they end up without a TNT TBS deal, so that they have titles to fall back on that are not the TNT and TBS titles.
Their contract still runs another 2 years at least with those networks, though.
Right. But if they build up a couple titles, give them a couple years to build up whenever they're back out on the market, because if they do end up getting bought by Netflix, they won't be sticking around afterwards.
No, they're going to need to hopefully go to Amazon.
They're going to need to go somewhere, and they're going to want the titles.
Well, Amazon's about all that's left.
True. Or there's always the option of starting up your own fucking streaming service.
Yeah, but then you're going to have to expect people to pay for it. And then you have no network to run your weekly television off of to garner popularity for your streaming service.
No, I know. But they're not going to have a network anyways, because WWE's in bed with everybody on the network. in some way, shape, or form.
You're right. Everybody except Fox now. So, yeah, AEW is limited to like Fox and Amazon.
Yeah. So then, on top of it all, I actually think Ricochet is going to be the one to win. And the reason I think Ricochet is going to be the one to win is because Ricochet is the one out of everybody on that roster right now that spends a lot of time, other than like Takeshita, that spends a lot of time everywhere else. Because one of the things they mentioned on Twitter, which I don't know if they went into full detail, is this is a title that is specifically going to be all over the place. It's not going to be just on AEW TV. It's going to be represented in CMLL, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, all over the place. And I feel like the only person that's going to be willing to do all of that would be Ricochet, because he's already doing it. He's over in Japan often doing things now. And I think he's a good starting point for that.
I don't disagree. I just don't want any more titles on this damn show.
Well, that's not up to us.
Well, obviously, but
because I would like them to have like 6 less titles.
They mean nothing. Like, they mean nothing at this point.
What it really shows is Tony Khan struggles to not book a title match. So he wants everything to be a title match, right? Because you could throw 2 people, build up a feud based around a title. He's not very good at building up feuds not based around titles.
What do you mean? He can just throw money at it. Just make it $1 million
tag team
match.
Right. Backstage, speaking of Jurassic Express, this one was funny as hell to me, though. So, Jack Perry is talking about how important friendship is. But it's very tongue-in-cheek because he takes a $100 bill and then stabs it into a table because he leaves it for the bucks. He's like, I know they need some money, so he leaves him $100, stabs a knife into it, and as he walks away, Luchasaurus reaches to grab the money.
It's like, leave it there.
And Jack's like, leave it there. And Lucha's
it
like,
was actually right outside the Don Callis family locker room because there was a little plaque on the wall with Don Callis's face and the name Don Callis family.
Right. But that was, dude, I thought it was hilarious.
It was fine. As far as backstage segments go in this show, it was probably the best one.
We get our third match, Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia, to see who has the advantage in the blood and guts match. As you guys know, I almost called them the Blackpool Combat Club. The Death Riders are up 1-0. So funny enough, this was a match that was not for me for the most part.
What?
Dude, I couldn't connect with it.
I thought it was fine.
It wasn't bad. It
was a lot of Death Rider. It was another 80-20 match where the Death Riders were dominant, but actually lost this time around.
Right. Darby got busted open at some point. Pac gets involved at some point. Darby barely makes a 10 count to get back in the ring after being busted open. Darby did reverse a sharpshooter into a Scorpion Deathlock of his own.
Yep, that's how he won.
And gets the tap out. And one of the things that I was watching Sean's little post-show stream earlier. And yeah. I agree with him on this. I love seeing somebody that's able to use the Scorpion Deathlock correctly as an actual finisher. And I love that Darby's the one doing it. Because he's really good at it.
I agree. It doesn't look like ass like Daniel Garcia's was.
Now, are we ever going to see it look like ass from him? Well, yeah, everyone has put it on poorly at some point.
Except for Bret Hart.
I'm sure I could find one.
Yeah, good luck. Maybe against like Yokozuna.
Maybe. He's the best there isn't, the best there wasn't, and the best there never was.
I will hurt you.
I'm just giving Joe a hard time. It's his favorite wrestler.
It is. You were there when I got my picture taken with him.
I was. Um, but yeah, Darby gets him to tap out, and then so the match on Collision will be the tiebreaker. It'll be Mox versus Roderick Strong. I'm hoping.
And I'm stoked for it.
I'm hoping Mox taps out, but I think they're gonna win on some bullshit.
I agree. They're either gonna win on some bullshit or they're gonna get disqualified.
Post match, Pac jumps Darby, and then the OC comes out. I said the OC like it's a group. OC comes out. The rest of the Death Riders come out. Paragon shows up. O'Reilly got cut off at the pass by.
Mox got him good.
Mox. Shout out to O'Reilly, doing some good selling there too. He had a lot of people online worried.
Yeah, he did well.
Heels get the advantage overall though, and then Roderick Strong comes out of nowhere and chases off the entire squad on his own.
Hell yeah. Roddy getting it.
He came in for a flying knee, and that made everyone run. That one flying knee.
Scattered. Yep, everybody scattered. Nobody wanted a piece of Roddy.
We get a fantastic in-ring segment. This whole thing made me laugh.
I don't even remember. Oh, okay. Yes. This was the best segment that wasn't a match on the whole card.
So FTR comes out.
I like this a lot. If I can make this my segment of the night, I probably liked it more than I liked the ladies tag match.
So FTR comes out and Cash gets on the mic and he's like, "We should have already been 3-time champs, but Brodito got in the way and stole that, and we want to talk Brodito face to face. Brodito, come on out here." The music plays
with Stokely, by the way.
Yeah, the music plays and then nothing happens, and it goes backstage and Stoke is leaning up against the door that's supposed to be Brodito's door, and they're banging on it, and somehow it's locked from the outside. And Stoke's just standing there leaning up against it, watching The Wire on his phone.
He's like, because Renee goes up there to him. He's like, "Hey, Renee, you want to watch The Wire with me? It's on HBO Max." Shameless plug.
At that point, it goes back to the ring. Dax is bummed that they can't shake their hand properly. And then he's like, "I'd like to welcome Bandito's family ringside, though." He runs through all of the normal white attempts at speaking Spanish.
He does. Quite poorly.
At that point, he starts making fun of, I think that's Bandito's grandmother.
It is. She was on, they had that big long vignette.
Right.
About Bandito when it was the Collision's main event last week.
Right. He keeps going to ask her questions, and he puts the mic in her face, and when she goes to talk, he pulls it away, and he'd be like, "And anyways."
Pulling it away. I was laughing my ass off.
At one point, he says, "Yeah, when it comes to the Day of the Dead, you take the cake."
You don't day over 113.
At which point, Gravity decides he's going to try and get involved, who looks way bigger than the last time I seen that man.
I do like the part where Dax was like, "Como se dice abuela?" Which, that is, he should have said, "Como se dice grandma" in Espanol, but he just says abuela.
Right.
It just, white people in Spanish, man.
So Gravity jumps the guardrail, tries to beat up on FTR. Which, for those that don't know, Gravity is Bandito's brother.
Yep.
In fact, the last time we've seen Gravity, at least on AEW TV, I don't know if he wrestles in Ring of Honor, but it was back when he wrestled against Pac, like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, that was a minute ago.
Because they were playing on the whole Pac being the man that Gravity forgot.
Yeah, shameless plug to his former gimmick.
Right. But he jumps in. They jump him. At which point they go backstage again, and Brody King just punches through this fucking door. like Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
And
Grabs a hold of Stokely, and Stokely's freaking the fuck out.
I'm glad he punched correctly and didn't knock Stoke out.
I'm sure they had it marked on the... Well, I don't know if they had it marked on the other side of the door, but he knew his cue.
But yeah, he punched through the door, grabbed Stoke. They go back to ringside. FTR are getting ready to do their spike pile driver to Gravity, and then Brodito runs to the ring and chases them off.
Well, Stokely ran down first.
Oh yeah, he was being chased. Good time. The entire segment was amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited for their match. I think it'll be really good.
And then we get our first women's advantage determination match, and the other two will be on Collision. And this is not the last match of the night. I keep forgetting that the trios match happened.
It's the worst match of the night.
It's Mina Shirakawa versus Megan Bayne for the first and the best of 3. I already said that. Tony Storm's on commentary, and listen, the first 10 seconds of this was amazing.
And the rest of it was trash.
Because she's on commentary, and she asks Excalibur to come and commentate on one of her orgies.
She says, Excalibur, how come you don't come and commentate on my orgies?
He was so confused, he didn't know how to respond.
He's like, what did she say? And Tony Schiavone's like, her orgies.
I thankfully, by the way, didn't get to watch all of this match. I missed a lot of the beginning of it because I was stuck doing work stuff. However,
yeah, you didn't miss anything.
The little bit I did get to see, I did like. We got to see Mina hit a pretty fun sling blade from the top rope.
Yeah.
Outside the ring, Marina Shafir shows up and starts to choke out Tony Storm. And then, during the distraction, Megan goes to do a power bomb to Mina. And Mina has her legs kicking to try and get out of it. And she's dangling there for a second. And just from raw fucking power, Megan lifts this woman up and running Liger bombs her.
Yep. Now, when I say I don't like this match, there was nothing like terrible about it. I just didn't care for it all that much.
Not a Mina fan.
I don't mind Mina. She's a little too squirrely for me, but she doesn't bother me that much. Just for some reason, it was a little chaotic at parts and kind of a little sloppy in parts because you can tell these. So Megan Bayne is still really new, so I don't know. It just didn't gel with me for some reason.
Right. Post match, Shafir and Bayne attack Mina. Tony gets a chair, chases them off. But at that point, the Triangle of Madness show up. They attack the faces from behind. Then Hayter and Willow and Harley come out to even the odds. At which point, as you guys see in the thumbnail, Mercedes starts to run down to the ring to help her squad out. And then she stops and looks in the ring like, you know what? No.
Yeah, I don't need this.
I don't need this.
I don't need to be here.
At which point, Stat shows up behind her, knocks her down, runs in, helps her women in the ring, and then all the heels stand out together. At which point, if you guys didn't notice, Marina was evil eyeing the shit out of Mercedes for not getting in there and helping.
Oh, the heels are going to betray each other, potentially. Interesting.
We'll see.
Sowing the seeds of doubt.
We will see. We get the main event, AEW's Trios match, the Ops versus Kingston Hook and Adam Page. Not a whole lot to talk about here. It was a pretty decently wrestled match throughout.
It seemed brief, though.
It was only like 10, 15 minutes. A really cool spot, which leads to a match we're going to get on, I think Dynamite next week.
No, yeah. It's next Dynamite.
Powerhouse Hobbs power slams Adam Page off of the stage through a table.
Yep. It's pretty dope.
It was actually a super dope spot. I haven't seen Hobbs do in a long time.
Yep. So they're him and Hangman's match next week is Falls Count Anywhere.
Yep. They're like, it's blood and guts, so we're just going to make sure everything sucks for people that don't like blood and or guts.
Me.
Good news is you're in Disney.
No, I'm in Michigan.
Or Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll still be watching.
Did you hold up your hands and touch your...
Oh, like the Motor City Machine Guns?
Yes.
No, not this time.
You should have.
I kept doing that on Friday when I was watching them on the SmackDown, though.
I do it all the time. Apparently, what's his face and Larson do it all the time as well.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Steven Larson. I couldn't remember Steve's name for some reason. He's the one that actually, his channel is the one that I actually follow, and I just happen to get Wrestle Juice. Yeah, I happen to just get the other stuff lumped in with it because I follow him.
Yeah, I like Steven Larson.
Hook got a pretty nice T-bone on Hobbs, but shortly after, listen, I hope the man was selling and just actually doing a really good sell job, but he was holding his back pretty bad the rest of that fucking match.
I think he was selling because that was part of some of the end sequences.
But I'll tell you what, dude, it had me worried for a little bit there. Oh, shit, here we go. He just came back.
Just a bunch of big ass people.
Right. But yeah, so after the power slam and Hook kind of selling his back, it kind of left it as a 3-on-1 disadvantage for a bit, where it was
yeah, Kingston got his butt whooped.
Well, he actually started off strong against him.
Well, yeah,
but
like all baby faces do.
But numbers will be numbers.
Yep.
He finally is able to get the tag into Hook, who finally hobbles himself back up onto the apron. Or I think Hook tags himself in, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Hobbs grabs him, though, puts him in a torture rack, and he taps pretty quickly. And that is the end of the show. Now.
Yep, that's why I said I think he was selling, because he knew he was taking the submission, and it wouldn't make as much sense if his back wasn't, if he wasn't selling his back already.
With that being said, I don't know if what they're doing with Hook is smart or goddamn genius. Because this is now 2 matches in a row where
He's tapped out quick.
Hook is tapped out very quickly, which people are going to start questioning his toughness because of it. Which, if they don't do this right, they're going to kill this man's career before it even has a chance to truly begin.
You think Taz comes back and whips him back into shape?
No, but what I do think is going to happen is it's going to eventually force him into an I Quit match with somebody. And he's going to be forced to withstand tapping out, but something's crazy is going to have to be on the line for him to not want to tap out.
Yeah, I don't want to see another I Quit match.
I'm not saying it's going to happen today. You're going to eventually see another I Quit match. It's inevitable. It's wrestling. It is a.
Well, you're not wrong.
It is a stipulation. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Eventually, he will be in an I Quit match. I don't necessarily need it to be an I Quit match. A submission match is fine.
Yeah, he will eventually be in a place where he needs to withstand and not tap out.
Correct.
Whatever kind of match. It could be a regular match.
But yeah, and if they play it right, he doesn't tap out, finally gets the win, then he's overcome his biggest weakness for now. That's not talking. And
well, he's got a heater with him that he never allows to talk.
Right. But yeah, I think that's what they're setting up for. I just hope they're able to pull it off before people 100% just completely give up on Hook.
It should be against Joe.
It'd be a good person for it to be against.
I think storyline wise and mentoree thing, I think, and them dropping him so quickly when he was hurt, I think it all makes the most sense.
Which the good news is you at least have 2 months before we can even worry about that. With because Full Gear is going to be Joe and Hangman, so
Yep. Again, hopefully they'll actually, because the last match was a little underwhelming. Hopefully they were saving a ton because they knew they were getting a series of matches. So hopefully this one will be a lot better.
Or maybe Joe wins and then Hook can win it off of him.
That would be something. I don't think they're taking the strap off of the Hangman yet. I think
don't either.
MJF's going to do that.
I was also really joking.
I know.
if they put the world title on Hook in any like he needs a couple years. I'm being serious. He needs a couple of years to get some shit together.
And some pounds.
I'm not even worried about the pounds so much. He's working with a martial artist type background is what he's going for, and he's a big guy.
But he needs to fill out a little bit. I'm not saying he needs to be 300 pounds, but a little bit because he does power moves.
So he needs to
throws.
he needs to go on the Kyle Fletcher program.
Yeah, there you go.
I remember how skinny Kyle used to be, and then over the course of the last year and a half to 2 years, dude is bulked up quite a bit.
Osprey did. Osprey put on weight and put on muscle.
Oh,
Nothing wrong with it.
Hey, look, man,
he should
and
take Daniel Garcia with him too.
Some people just do it different ways. I mean, look at Adam Cole. He was perfectly fine over at NXT, and then somehow between the switch from there to AEW, he bulked his head up. Like
he bulked his head up and lost weight.
But that head is strong, boy. That head is strong. It is the one thing not getting injured. Well, no, actually, come to think of it, it is the one thing that's been getting injured.
I was going to say, the big ass thing is what's been getting injured.
That's true. I feel bad for that man, dude.
I do too. I love me some Adam Cole. I loved the Undisputed Era in NXT. That shit was so good.
I'm going to be honest. What I think he should do, and this is just me being honest, I think he should retire from wrestling and
be a valet.
And take Shivani's place at that fucking table because I am fucking tired.
How about we just have two men groups, 2 men teams?
Well, what are we doing right now? Taz ain't around. He's out rehabbing another surgery.
Well,
get well soon, Taz. That's not a knock at you.
Taz and Nigel on Collision.
No. I still want Bryan Danielson and Nigel. Damn it. Give me that 2-man team
on Collision.
Give me that team.
They're just arguing with each other the whole night. You see that move, Danielson? I could put you in that and make you tap. Yeah, fuck off, Nigel.
I did that better than you all the time.
All right.
It'd be great, dude. That's what I need. Okay, look, maybe not permanently, but at least give it to me like once every couple of months. All right.
They should do it on a pay-per-view.
That'd be amazing. You could get
like Excalibur, Danielson, and Nigel.
Just the 3 of them. I was gonna say you need at least one other person there to actually try to keep the peace.
Yeah, to keep them apart and to bounce things and actually try to concentrate on the match. To kind of try to keep them professional and going towards what they're actually there for.
Absolutely.
I think it would work out like gangbusters.
Absolutely. But that's gonna do it. Over and above all, not a bad show. Better than Raw.
Not a bad show, but definitely not a great show.
But not as good as last week's. I am not looking forward to SmackDown or Collision.
I'm looking forward to Collision. I'm excited to see Mox and Roddy.
Mox and Roddy will be fine. I don't care for the other 2 women's matches.
I agree.
I also... There was another match that they talked about, and I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was either.
I may or may not have been excited for that one. We'll see. I'm more excited for Blood and Guts next week.
I'm hoping it's good. So, I mean, those 2 matches are going to be like the whole fucking show.
There's only 3 matches, I think, so far. 2 Blood and Guts matches, and well, it depends. It depends. We haven't heard it yet, but it could be Blood and Guts for both Dynamite and Collision, right? So, like, they could just split it up.
You'd put the ladies one on.
I think that's what they
Collision.
might do.
Yeah, I could see that.
When's the pay-per-view anyways? The
22nd.
Okay, yeah, that's. Yeah, because then the following week would be the week of the pay per view. Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of.
One in a week.
That's the only thing I could think of. Um, Actually, we could probably Google it now. Is Blood and Guts going to be on both Dynamite and Collision next week?
You're gonna get some weird AI answer. It's not gonna be definitive.
Dude, it's always a week behind, right? Because I'm like, are the Blood and Guts matches going to be on both Dynamite and Collision? It says no. The match is not happening next week, but the advantage matches to determine are. They're set up for next week's Dynamite. No, motherfucker, that was tonight's. I hate people.
The AI hasn't caught up yet.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get a straight answer from Google. Google sucks.
Yeah, it ain't that important. We'll know for sure. Hell, probably before the end of the week.
Probably. Probably on Collision, to be honest.
Yep.
But with that being said, we're done, guys. So we will see you Saturday for the SmackDown review and eventually the Collision
SmackDown
review.
And Collision.
Yeah. So we will see you guys next time. Deuces!
Later.